Hello everyone, I'm Chris Brown, the president of the Buena Park Historical Society, and our historic Whitaker Jaynes and the Bacon Estate houses recently underwent a full renovation, and we're super excited about it. Come on inside and let me give you a little show and tell. Come on in. We're so appreciative of all the efforts to complete this renovation. The City of Buena Park received a California state grant from State Assemblywoman Sharon Quirk Silva in the amount of about $500,000 for both homes. As soon as the City Council voted for the approval of the funding, under the direction of the Department of Public Works, Oldham Architects and AID Builders completed a wonderful project that helps preserve and maintain the history of Buena Park for generations to come. This home and the Bacon home behind, it was moved to this location in 1997 and had never had much more than new paint on the outside. The work to this home included the renovation of the walls, the floors, the ceilings, the roof, and it took about 4 months to complete. On July 14th, we had a ribbon-cutting ceremony to celebrate the reopening and also had a brick dedication ceremony near our Dregger clock in the front of the house. Because of the COVID pandemic, our home is limited in allowing visitors, but I'd like to give you a bit of a guided tour so you can also see a bit of what's here in the museum home. I would like to introduce you to my husband, Art Brown, who is also the curator of the Whitaker Jaynes Estate. Art, would you like to help give us a tour?
I'd love to. One of the things they did with the renovation of the house was remove the old wall-to-wall carpeting and refinish the original hardwood floor so it would be more historically correct. Also, they removed the old wallpaper and replaced it with a more period-correct pattern. One of the first things I'd like to point out is the old piano here. It's a very historic piece. It's a rectangular piano. It's an Arion. Back in about 1888, it was shipped around Cape Horn for a family in Pasadena who wanted their son to be able to practice the piano. They didn't have room to store it later on, and the Whitakers did, so they brought it down here. And they later donated to the Whitaker family for the museum here. The piece here is called a secretary. Put your books in there. Had places to put pens, pencils, inks. The part here folded down from the front, so you had a place to write. And the father would sit here and write letters, mother, and write checks back in those days. But it's a lovely old piece. Well worked and well maintained by the previous curators. We have a couple of lovely velvet chairs. The bay window was put in about 1905 by Mr. Jaynes when he bought the house. It was the smoking corner. The photo is Ida and Isaac Jaynes. They bought the house from the Whitakers when they moved out. The small chair here was her chair, Edna Jaynes. So they made that her. She was a very petite woman. Now let's go upstairs and take a look at the bedrooms. Come on in. This is a display room. It was converted from the bedroom. Has bygone wonders of Buena Park, the old movie world, Japanese deer park, the Palace of Living Arts, Arnold's Farmhouse, all the things that used to be here. For those that don't know it, we used to have a softball team in Buena Park, the Lynx. They started in 1935 with the local merchants, and they're part of the Pacific Coast League. They played originally Bellis Park on 8th and Knott Avenue, had a full baseball stadium, and little practice field, but that's where the Lynx played. And actually, we had some KTLA newscasters come down and announce the games sometimes. This is the children's bedroom. We have a crib and a small child's bed. For those that are around my age, maybe remember the old school desk. Each person would have sit down and have the desk in front of them, and then the person behind the back of their chair would be the next desk. But it was a lot of fun back in those days. They had a little inkwell, and if the girl in front of you had long pigtails, you'd dip her pigtails into the inkwell. Hey, one interesting piece is back in the old days, the mothers would always take a lock of their child's hair, put their name on it or a ribbon, and keep that in their baby book. I've got my baby book at home, and it's still got the little hair curl in it. But I don't think families do that much anymore, but it's kind of interesting from then. Okay. Now we'll go into the master bedroom. This is a rather large room. It's 2 bedrooms converted into one large one. We're lucky that the Knotts family was very gracious to us. They donated the Knotts bed and bedroom set. We've got the dresser with a tall mirror. They had to cut a hole in the ceiling to accommodate the height of the mirror. To me, it seems rather small bed now for what I have nowadays, a king size, where 2 people slept in that bed. So it would have been kind of hard. A little interesting thing over here, though, is what they called an invalid's commode. It folds up, you can carry it with you, but it was set up so an invalid would have a toilet upstairs, and you have the toilet pot, which somebody had to clean later. You've heard the expression chambermaid on TV. Well, it was the chambermaid's job in the old English houses to take the chamber pot out every morning and clean it. They didn't have closets in the old houses, so they had armoires, French word for closets, but they hang their clothes in there. We have a little dressing table here that the woman used in the morning. Had her mirror, all of her various things in the different drawers. Yeah, I won't pull that open. But they have all their stuff in there. The old trunk was used as a storage space also. And we have a very old Singer sewing machine with a foot pedal. No electricity, so you had a foot pedal to power the sewing machine. Now let's go down and look at the dining room. It's very nice. Here we are in the dining room. It's seats for 4. Your heat came from an old pot-belly stove, usually wood-fired. We have an old pump organ. It was a 2-person job, one playing the keys, and the other on the side pumping the organ. One thing the kids that come visit get a kick out of, you ask them, well, where's the dial on the phone? There isn't. You pick it up. Yes, operator, I'd like to have number 238. And you're on a party line, so everybody on the party line would hear who you're talking to. What you should really do is come down and get a nice, slower tour, and we can explain everything, and you can ask questions and more in depth of what the house is.
On behalf of the Buena Park Historical Society, I would like to again thank Assemblywoman Sharon Quirk-Silva of the 65th District for the State Parks Grant, the City of Buena Park, the City Council for their swift action to approve this old house, and the Historical Society and the hundreds of Buena Park residents for their support. If you would like to visit the museum, we are open Monday through Thursday from noon to 4, and we recommend calling us first to be sure we can accommodate you. Our phone number is 714-562-3570, and we look forward to having you, and thank you again.